where are these major crypto firms going to do their banking? And they're going to find it a little bit harder in terms of their interactions with a lot of the other banks at the same time.
Honestly, I don't know, and it is going to get harder. In fact, in preparation for our discussion today, I have been chatting on Discord with a lot of my friends who run startups, asking them where do they bank, what is their banking situation, and I can give you a very typical situation. One of my good friends, he runs a startup called POAP, Proof of Attendance Protocol. They're not even a financial services blockchain startup. They hand out digital NFTs for attending events and participating in group meetings, and they were tagged as a high-risk company. They struggle to open a bank account. They've got almost half their cash now currently tied up at SVB, and they can't access it, and it's probably going to be more than their payroll can cover. So there's a really huge gap there, and there's a sense that it is fundamentally a fairness issue in the industry, whereas there are very, very large banks that are able to offer crypto custody services, but crypto companies, even ones that aren't even financially services oriented, get flagged as high risk and have very limited access to the banking system. So it's going to become an enormous problem for companies that don't already have bank accounts at one of these systemically important banks.
How bad does it get, Paul? That's the key question, because, as we speak, we just had an analyst earlier on talk about how this would be the kill for the cryptocurrency world. Do you think that it could get that bad? Do they still stand a chance in terms of holding their ecosystem?
It's definitely not a kill switch, but it's going to make it much more difficult. And I think it's going to force the crypto banks or those that have banking licenses into a position of much greater power. It's also going to really, really heighten the pressure on a couple of things. First of all, the pressure on legislation. Where is there going to be action and clear rules? So one of the things that crypto companies have complained about, and I think very accurately, is that when they've asked for very clear rules on what to follow, they haven't always gotten clear answers. So they've had their applications rejected in numerous cases, right? And then secondly, there's an enormously important lawsuit, which is Custodia Bank. They're suing the Fed for access to the banking system and a master account. That's going to be, people are going to be watching that very closely. But I do think this is a watershed moment for crypto companies, especially in the United States. They are going to be under a tremendous amount of pressure to find alternate banking relationships.